History of Okotoks water. The story of Okotoks' search for a supplemental water source began more than 20 years ago. In Alberta, the province controls who has access to water and how much through water licenses. In Okotoks, a lack of water licensing allocation was identified as an issue way back in the mid-1980s. In 1985, Alberta Environment and Parks, or AEP, placed a moratorium on the Sheep River and town's water source. This meant that the province prohibited any new water license applications for the Sheep River. AEP's practice in the 1980s and 1990s was to grant 25-year water licenses to municipalities. In 1988, AEP determined that the Okotoks' existing allocation would meet the town's requirements and denied Okotoks' application for an increase in water allocation. In 1992, AEP did approve the installation of 2 test wells, which were already licensed for flow testing. Between 1996 and 1999, these 2 existing test wells were converted to full production wells, and a third converted to a flow production well in 2003. In 1998, the town set a 30,000-person population cap in response to these ongoing water supply concerns. These concerns increased in 2006 when the province imposed a moratorium on all new water license transfer requests from the Sheep River as part of the South Saskatchewan Water Management Plan. This meant restricting all new water licenses, establishing water conservation objectives, and holding back water license transfers. Since no new water licenses can be granted for the Sheep River, transferring water licenses is another way for the town to increase access to water. A water license transfer means that the existing license is purchased by the town from the current owner. At the same time, 2001 to 2006 were boom years for the Calgary area, and Okotoks experienced a 46% increase in population growth, from 11,664 to more than 17,000. So, we had a growing population, but were restricted from accessing more water. In response to growth happening along Okotoks borders, and in preparation for future community growth, Town Council decided to support a continuous growth model in 2012. The decision was made to be able to control and manage growth and water use along Okotoks border. This was the beginning of the annexation process, which added to the pressure on the town to secure a long-term water supply solution. Also during this time, the town began actively pursuing the water license allocation issue with AEP and expanded the water management plan to include additional policies, programs, and incentives to further advance water conservation, efficiency, and productivity. Between 2010 and 2014, AEP approved the transfer of existing private licenses to the town, totaling more than 380,000 cubic meters of water, which provided the additional water source to allow Okotoks to continue to grow in a sustainable way. The town commissioned a water servicing review in 2013, which identified that a pipeline from Calgary to Okotoks was the lowest cost option for a long-term solution. Okotoks applied for the Water for Life program for pipeline funding. The program was created to provide cost-shared funding for new or existing regional water systems. The town's applications in both 2014 and 2015 were unsuccessful due to oversubscription of the program. So at this point, the town was on its own to pay for the pipeline to Calgary. In 2015, the town created a formal Okotoks Calgary water pipeline proposal, which we presented to the province. 2 years later, conditions for water license transfers were being considered by AEP. At that time, the town had 17 applications, which were subsequently delayed. At this time, the town finalized the annexation of 4,900 acres from Foothills County. By annexing land along the Okotoks border, it became possible to better control the rate at which the town grows to ensure there is enough water to meet demand until a long-term water solution is found. Also in 2017, provincial regulatory processes made the Okotoks Calgary pipeline option too costly, so the town was forced to look for other solutions. The town is now working with our regional partners to create detailed designs on an alternative solution instead of accessing water from the city of Calgary. There are significant benefits to a regional supplementary water system, including lower capital costs and lower overall costs of ownership. There is also a greater chance that water licenses and transfers will be approved by the provincial government, and we will have greater control and increased security for a long-term water supply. It has been a long journey, but we believe that the town is close to finally achieving the goal for a long-term supplemental water source for our community's future. For details on how the current water system works, please visit okotoks.ca/water solution and view the video called How Okotoks Water Works Today.